Receive your gold and silver fully insured and privately delivered to your door. Call Gold Silver Group, 800-943-0834, 800-943-0834.
You're tuned into WWE Gainesville, AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
Yes, this is Mr. Controversy, and this is the infamous three-point conversion station. Keep it locked.
Yes, we are back inside the three-point conversion sports lounge. It's your man, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? It's another beautiful Saturday morning, man. It's a very exciting Saturday morning. But before I get into that, make sure you let everyone know they can listen to the show locally in Atlanta, 1100 AM. The Real. Also, they can go to iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Radio Now, 1100 AM, WWE. And I'm not doing this by myself. I got my co-host, my road dog, my partner in crime, my man, D Intellectual. What up, D?
Yes, we pumped this morning, baby. We pumped.
We are pumped. And like I said, it's a great day, man. We have a lot to talk about. This show is going to be special today. And not just because of biased reasons, but because we have a superstar in the building. And he's going to come on later on, my man, H.O.
One of the best.
Hey, how y'all guys doing, man?
So, but we go, like I said, we go bring him in. He's going to come in later on. We're going to talk college football. Like I said, it's exciting. College football starts today. Man, that's big, huge. If you're a college football fan, of course you're excited. But if you're a football fan by itself, just football fan, you're excited. Even if you don't watch, you're a casual college football fan. The fact that football is back. Also, we're going to talk Major League Baseball. We have the Major League Baseball race going on. So much going on, man. The Braves, they done lost 5 out of the last 7. But you got the race in the West, National League West, the big trade with Andrew McCutchen. I mean, it's so much to good talk about. We're going to talk about this NFL, the NFC divisions, rank those. And like I said, we just got a lot to talk about. Stop it, what's on our mind. Hey, D, man, you ready?
Let's get it, baby.
Quick hits? Let's get it. Shout out to Sherm Beats.
Sherm on the beat.
So, first, breaking news that came, I guess it's not breaking news.
If you've been under a rock.
It's crazy because Khalil Mack has been traded to the Chicago Bears. Right now, the Chicago Bears are negotiating a major long-term deal. Hey, man, I'm going to just tell you this. I was driving. I just had the radio on. And the dude said it so casually. He was like, yeah, can't wait for college football. Oh, before we go to break, breaking news came out. It's been reported that Khalil Mack has been traded.
You don't say that like that.
But look, when he said it, I was on the edge of my, like, who is he going to? I'm, hoping, but I'm like, and he
Who
said
knows?
Chicago Bears, man, I almost crashed my car. I started yelling. People were looking at me like, what's wrong with him? I missed my exit. I was lost.
You don't say that casually. You don't say that casually. No. You holler that across the mountaintop.
Right. but quickly, for real, what do you think this does for the Bears? Well, we're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
What did you have to say about the way Oakland handled this?
I don't like it.
I do. No, but go ahead.
I mean, I like it for our benefit,
right.
but as a player, Like, how can you be arguably top 5 best defensive player in the league, and they don't want to pay you?
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. And then, like you said, John Gruden, he came out earlier, said he spoke to Mac, earlier when he first got signed, but because of the contract negotiation and all of that situation, he said he don't want to talk, he don't want anything to say with him.
You know what? Want to know my biggest thing with that? He was still under contract with your team. So you still can have conversations with him and talk to him as a coach, let's say he was a free agent, right? And he was discussing contracts with other people. Then, hey, I can kind of, even still, I think your coach should talk to your star defensive player.
It just let you, it's horrible, but, well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Serena Williams put a whooping on her big sister, like she thought about the time when Venus didn't let her play with the Barbie doll, and whooped her in straight sets, 6-1, then 6-2. Whew.
To not say we didn't expect it, right? Because we kind of expect Serena to, lately she's been really dominating Venus, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't want to take nothing away from Venus because we know how great Serena is, right? I think so only gonna sound funny, right? She only has about 20-something more single titles than Venus. I think Venus is at 49 or somewhere in that magnitude. Like it's a difference, right? But Venus is still great in her own right. And I think because Serena is so great, we don't appreciate how great Venus still is.
I understand that, but we're talking about this match here, and she got whooped. Keep it real. We're not giving nobody consolation prizes.
The last matches they've been in, it hasn't really been too much of a competition.
But this one like this, wow.
She dominated. What she won? 2 games?
I told her 6-1. Yeah, 2. That's 3 games total. That's it.
Yeah.
Horrible. Moving on. Usain Bolt made his debut yesterday in Australia playing soccer or football. Man, what you got to say about this? Like, it would be crazy to see him on a break. Like, we're in Atlanta, so Miguel Almiron, he's probably the fastest guy for the United, and he a beast. To see him live, he's fast.
Right.
But to see Usain Bolt dribbling that ball down, man.
But controlling that ball and running at that same speed, 2 different things. So you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta see.
But if
not saying that he not gonna run like he running a 40 or 100 meter.
Miggy runs like he running the 40 because Miggy be fast.
And you also got to figure, it's not like Usain just learning how to play soccer.
Yeah, he's been knowing how to play.
That's what happens in Jamaica. Soccer is huge.
Right.
So if he can control his speed, man, he could be a whole problem.
Yeah.
And we great around here anyway. We do things like that. You know what I mean? So I don't expect him to do nothing but succeed.
Right. Moving on. Another crazy trade. Toronto Blue Jays traded Josh Donaldson to Cleveland Indians. I know Donaldson been out most of the year, but still,
that's a big bat.
That's a big bat. Third baseman, that's a big bat.
But where do you fit him in?
And it's kind of like that.
You throw him at the DH?
He was good at third, because who that third baseman now is? Who you got at third? I would throw him at third.
Ramirez.
Would you take Ramirez out?
What he hitting? I'm gonna pull it up now.
But it was Josh Donaldson. You know what? You're right.
Matter.
I would put I would put him at DH for right now, just to be safe, just because of the fact that you don't want to mess up the chemistry defensively.
What you got going on?
And then you work him in. Once Ramirez, he get an error or something. See ya.
You say one error, huh?
Holla.
You say Ramirez, right? He batting .288 with 37 home runs and 94 RBI.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying I would put him at DH. I would put Ramirez if he makes an error. I would put Josh at third and put Ramirez DH.
Why now?
Shoot, Ramirez might hit better though.
What I'm saying is, why now? He batting .288 37 and 94. Don't touch nothing that's not broke.
I
You
feel
put him at DH, he might lose his swing because he's not active at third base. You
It
know,
could
being
be,
active
right.
in the field, it gets you ready.
But
to,
I feel you, but it might help him out
what
too.
has Donaldson done
listen,
all year?
Listen, but it might help him out too because Ramirez now he's concentrating on hitting. And man, you know, like you said, because it's a lot. You sweating outside, you hot.
But it gets you in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it gets you active, right?
Put it like this: it's a great problem to have.
It's a great problem to have.
It's the same with Daniel Murphy, like we were talking
Right.
about with Addison Russell.
It's a great problem.
It's like
and
what
then
you
look
gonna
what
do?
happened. Hayward got hurt, and now you're gonna put Zobrist out in the field, and you still be able to make your moves because
Right. So, like I said, either or, they're good.
who knew that boy was hitting like that though?
You didn't know that?
Man.
Ramirez is killing.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's might be MVP.
Whoa.
Should be MVP. But anyway,
Yeah.
moving on.
JD got that on lock.
Nick Saban says that both Jalen Hurts, and he put the slash, so that says or, but he said basically everybody's saying is Jalen Hurts and Tua is they're playing. They will be both playing today versus Louisville. What do you think about that? Because you usually don't see that with Nick Saban. He usually has a guy.
I think it's one of those things where he's like, okay, yeah, Tua did what he did right in that championship game. Show me. You know what I mean? I think it's one of them things where like, and
Show who show him?
he want Tua to show him in not just that national championship. You know, you can get out there and
agree
because
with
it's
that,
going and it's happening.
I think he's like, show me, like, yeah, show me, because I'm ready. I want this guy to start.
That's what I'm saying. Like, get out there and show me that it wasn't just this championship game and this happening.
I
Because
think
you can get out there and he put Tua out there and we think he's gonna be the greatest, and he get out there and he shows why he was.
But
he was
I
just
think
a
that's why
sophomore.
he's being smart by saying he's going to play both, because God forbid, this Tua's a beast.
Yeah.
But just say it don't fit right. It doesn't go
That's
right.
what I'm saying.
You have Jalen Hurts. So think about it. They just Nebraska, when Nebraska said that Martinez was the starting quarterback, what did the other quarterback do? I'm out. He transferred. Which we need to do a topic on that, because I'm tired of that.
I mean,
But-
I think we've already talked about it. After Jalen Hurts played 4 games, he can transfer. And
but still, I'm
he
just
can be
saying.
redshirted, right?
But that's why I say it's smart the way how he's doing. Because if Saban would have came out and made this happen a long time ago, he said, "Look, Tua's going to be our starting quarterback," Jalen would have been gone, and he doesn't want that because he wants to have that just in case. But we'll see. Like I said, we'll see how
Yeah,
that
we're
goes.
gonna find out what it looked like tonight.
They're playing Louisville, so yeah. And then last but not least, which was the craziest deal, we're about to see probably another crazy one, the crazier than this with Khalil Mack. But Aaron Donald finally inked a 6-year, $135 million deal, $87 million guaranteed.
Big money. Let me get something about you.
So we always talk about full, it should be full guaranteed contracts, which, I feel, and I still feel another way about it. But at the same time, when you're getting $87 million guaranteed, bro, that's almost a guaranteed contract. Good Lord.
Man, and OBJ just signed for when he signed his contract. Literally, when he signed the deal, he got 51.
He signed for $2 billion.
Like literally, when he signed his deal, they say he got 51
NFL.
as soon as he signed.
But like I say, it always takes one person. And when Kirk Cousins
did
his deal, the fully guaranteed deal,
even with OBJ, if he don't do nothing for
Aaron
the next
Rodgers.
2 years, they can hit him for his other 15, 20, and he.
But Aaron Rodgers signed a big deal.
And how much guaranteed?
It kept
Like-
going back. I
like-
think what was it, G?
I think it was like 103.
103, 102,
guaranteed.
103. Come on, man.
I feel like you should fully them brothers, man. Fully them. They the game that they play, man. What they go through, they deserve to be fully paid.
But that's why you might not fully. That's why I understand. Like I said, we're gonna make a topic out of that. But look, that's gonna conclude our quick hits. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with the hot topic.
Hello, I'm Devin Baker, and this is your sports news break. The number 3 ranked Georgia Bulldogs will face Austin Peay in their season opener, and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets will face Alcorn State. Over in baseball, the Atlanta Braves were at home Friday night, and they lost 3-2 to the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Braves have lost 5 of the last 7, and Ronald Acuna Jr. has hit his 22nd home run. In women's basketball, the Atlanta Dream are 1 game away to advancing to the WNBA Finals. Tiffany Hayes helped the team win the victory 81-76, adding 23 points of her own. Moving over to soccer, the Atlanta United will travel to the nation's capital as they face DC United Sunday morning. Make sure you follow the 3-Point Conversion for all your major sports news and updates. The 3-Point Conversion, where fans' opinions matter. Greetings, Barry here. The Real 1100 wants you to register to vote. Join us for our Be the Change Register to Vote campaign. Come on out Saturday, September 22nd, and enjoy music, refreshments, and a chance to meet some of your favorite Real 1100 show hosts and enter raffle giveaways. Be the change you would like to see. Register to vote with us September 22nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We can't wait to meet you. And remember, don't boo, vote.
Hey, what's going on? It's your man Terrell Thomas. We out here right now. Big up, shout out to the 3-Point Conversion.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Mr. Controversy with my man, The Intellectual.
Yes.
And this next segment, the Hot Topic, is brought to you by Cindy Cutter's Barbershop, which is located on 3000 Chapel Hill Road, Suite 206, Douglasville, Georgia. Best barbershop in the South. The best barbers. All of them can cut. All of them, they are witty in a certain way. A lot of ego cutting up there, though. But no, great stuff, man. Like I always say, they're into the community. That's all they're about, man. Helping children, talk politics, sports. Man, talk women if you want, you know what I'm saying? It's a place where it's a barbershop. You want to get away from the house, whatever, come over there. And then when women come, they don't discriminate, They can join in, have a good time. It's great stuff, man. Shout out to Dwayne Chambers. And follow him on Instagram at Simha the Barber. That's SIMHATHEBARBER. And special shout out to my man Holyfield. Appreciate you, Holy. So, the hot topic. Well, first, before we bring in the hot topic, we got to bring in a superstar once again. My man, H.O. What's going on, man?
What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Boy, y'all talking about them Cleveland Indians, but listen, during the break, y'all saw them sticks. It's not the sticks that's the problem.
Right. It's not the sticks.
Yeah, Ramirez, Lindor, them guys, man, they got some sticks, and I think Andrew Miller is one of the guys that keeps getting hurt. One of the relievers.
That's big.
That's big for them, and see, they need to be trying to get some relief help because they got to stop Boston and the Yankees and things of that nature. And we not careful, continue to keep looking out for the Oakland A's, as I said previously. So we'll
It
see.
sounds like it's gonna be a bat off. Just teeing off. Everybody's going
Exactly, teeing off. But congratulations on Khalil Mack. I know you guys are pretty happy about that.
Yeah, we're going to get into
it's
that.
Almost, it's almost like saying this is almost as big as Reggie White signing with Green Bay.
Yeah, it is.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what happened.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
So it's a big deal, to all the football guys or whatever the case may be. But now you just got to execute.
That's it.
It's a big deal, man.
That's all what it is. You just got to execute.
So our hot topic, we're talking about just I guess the relationship with the coaches and the players. And what stems from this is, what it stemmed from was, a couple of weeks, we all talked about the Maryland situation where the young kid died off a heat stroke. And Maryland coach DJ Durkin, and if you listen to what I said Maryland coach. So he's still there. And players have come out, players and personnel came out. I think it was 2 players and personnel came out and talked about the tactics that he's used in the past with this team. As far as some of them was like, he caused players to overeat until they threw up. They was upset. People that was trying to gain weight, he would make them something like, he got to try and understand this, but if they did something wrong, they weren't good at practice, whatever it was, he made them just eat Snickers, and they have to watch the other players practice. Like, come on, bro. Like, why is he still there? So it brought us to this. When is going too far going too far? We know that's going too far. But when I'm talking going too far, I'm talking about getting in the player's face. And I'm saying it's going too far. I'm just saying when is going too far going too far? When is it considered that? Get in the player's face, maybe shove them, tactics to get them rejuvenated. When is it? Like, what do you think?
So first I want to say his name a couple times. Jordan McNair. Going too far is so I think, and I think one of the biggest things is, like, as a coach, when it's going too far. You know how you push that player. You might have this player that knows that he can stop running if he throws up, right? Or if he has asthma. You remember back in the day when somebody grabbed you up, you say, I got asthma. Mm-hmm. And they instantly stop and they leave you alone because you got asthma. When you really don't have asthma, you just know that when you say that, somebody gonna stop it, right? Mm-hmm. That's what. So as a coach, what's the understanding? But I think that the climate we live in right now, right, like where we are right now, how many deaths have happened with the heat stroke. If somebody tell you they tired, you got to back up.
Right. Even your trainer tell you that.
Period. You got to back up. Like, you got to back up. If this player don't want to be great for whatever reason, that's on them. Mm-hmm. If you as a coach, knowing that this you expect this player to be great, move on to the next.
Right.
If you pushing him and he telling you, I'm done, move on to the next. Find the next player that you think want to go through this and want to do that and not going to say he tired or he, you know what I mean? If you got a player that's saying he tired, man, you got to.
So, H.O., not even on the I want to talk about just motivating now, just on the court, doing the game.
Right. I think, first of all, you have to know who you're recruiting. So what you got assistant coaches for, you get to know these kids, you recruit them over a course of a couple of years, and you start to gain their and watch their tendencies and understand certain things, and you talk to some of the coaches and you talk about work habits and things of that nature. How do I motivate? Because every kid is different. So I think it's advantageous for the coaching staff to create some type of relationship or files that you can understand where this kid is maybe going through certain things at home that may not allow him, because we talked about you can relate this to what was the kid that went to Kansas that was having some problems with his mom and in basketball?
It's just this past year, right?
A couple of years. It was a couple of years ago when he was struggling. He had to keep going home to try to help his mom pay bills and things of that nature.
I know you're talking about.
And so sometimes, you don't know what kids are going through.
Yeah.
When it comes to certain things, you so far away from home, you're supposed to be the man in the house and things of that nature. So I think it's situational based, but I think more than anything, you have to get to know the kids a little more than just generalizing certain things. I think these what the assistant coaches are for. You got to get to know the kids. We can even go back to the Eddie Jordan situation at Rutgers and the violence and the grabbing and all this other kind of stuff. That is not just the working out and the heat strokes and things of that nature. Because you mentioned motivating. you can't motivate kids putting your hands on them.
Period.
You know, and not in that way. You know, we've had several basketball coaches, head coaches that have gone down for that. So I think you kind of got to get to know the kids, man, and try to run a clean program, because these days you can't put your hands on folks.
I think that's the biggest thing, like you're saying, these days. It's
Exactly.
not the Bobby Knight days
Exactly.
no more.
Well,
It's
see,
not the days where you used to be able to grab somebody, and that's what, like, the kids now, grabbing them or putting hands on them, that don't make them want to do.
Let me stop you right there, though, because I want to go there next. You just said, like, those were the days, you know, these are not the days. Well, just say if they were the days, like, that's where I'm getting at. Is it still okay? Because it's funny, most, and I say most, I think it was a few, but most of Bobby Knight, and if it's more than one, if it's more than none, it's probably not good. But most of everybody Bobby Knight played for was okay with Bobby Knight doing that.
Right.
And because they knew that's who he was.
Right.
But we all knew that was just Bobby Knight. And that's what I'm saying. Is it, because we heard about the JBL league with the league with
LeVar Ball?
Yeah, LeVar Ball when dude was hitting them, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, one of the coaches of the teams was like pushing a player during the game.
Right. So let me switch it. So if we say they can't do that, it's not good, let's flip it. So then is it okay for these college players to get the favoritism that they get, like the stars? Because they're putting in the work.
Right.
They're doing all of the great work. Is it okay? I'm going to start with G. Is it okay for them to get that?
As far as them getting like the preferential treatment, I mean, they're part of the reason why the school brings in so much money. So if they get free shoes or gear.
No, I'm talking about like the coach. You don't have to practice today, or you can sit down, or we give you 5 extra minutes or something.
Does that happen on the college football level?
Sometimes they do. Yeah,
it's hard for me to believe something like that.
They get special treatment where, you know, sometimes they don't have to do everything like they have to. You know, if they're running laps or whatever, sometimes they.
But if that's not, I mean, even if that is the case, I think that what we all expect, that like, as fans or the players expect going into a program, is to be treated like a decent human being. You know,
that's the first thing.
I think that's what they would want. You know, first off, you know, okay, yeah, we're going to practice. It's going to be hot outside, or it's going to be in the rain. We're going to play in the rain. We're going to play, you know, hot Saturday afternoons or something like that. That's to be expected. But if you want us to take, if we're supposed to be healthy, if you want us out there on the field, then we have to take some of these precautions. Like if we're prone to heat strokes, we should have water breaks or something to keep us fresh and not to like drive us to the point of.
But I'm not even talking about that though. Like I get that, we know that, but I'm saying treat favoritism. Like
as far as favoritism, I mean I can't really speak to that. But as far as like if they get certain things, but as far as like how they get treated in practice, it's hard to see that on the college level. Or
even in the game. So, say if they mess up, and I'm going to let D come in. Say if they mess up. I don't yell at you. I mean, certain coaches, we know, Saban and all, we know how they are, but certain coaches, I won't get in your face and yell at you because you're the superstar. But this guy right here, I'm getting in their face. D.
So I want to take it a little further, right? And what I mean by this, I think one of the reasons Trevor Ariza left Houston after he signed, where he went to Phoenix.
Yeah.
He went to Phoenix, right?
Signed
after he signed, right, he came out and was talking about favoritism.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about going to dinners
right.
and doing certain things where star players didn't have to come, didn't have to do this, didn't have to do that. I think underneath, like players may not talk about it in front of the coach or nothing like that, but it affects the team.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But
and
he a grown man.
I know.
Stop acting like that, dog. Come on.
But it's literally exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. And that's kind of off the court, and I know we got to go, but I think you have to define favoritism at some point, because I think in AAU, daddy ball, that's favoritism.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it all the time in daddy ball, but when it comes to how do I get to motivate certain people? Well, some people just shut down if you get in their face.
You got to know your player.
You got to know your player.
You got to get to know your player. And this goes beyond just sports, right? When you're even a manager or a supervisor somewhere, right? You're a head coach, we can say in that manner, right? You have to know your team.
Right, but isn't it the other way around? You have to know your coach as well. Like, they knew who Bobby Knight was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And most of them kids went there saying, I want my kids to get Coach hard.
That's what I'm saying.
But
it works both ways.
But do that come off as the coach when he's recruiting? Does that happen when you
has to know.
When you go away, right? When you go to the team, it change up, and you wasn't doing that when you was
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Just like Trevor Reason, no, I'm not the superstar, so why am I tripping?
Right.
Because I'm not James Harden, so it ain't no biggie.
We're gonna take this break. I still say, stop crying, dog. You a grown man. I understand.
I agree. That's what I'm saying.
You a grown man. You upset because you got to go to dinner. Stop going 0 for 15 in the Western Conference Finals.
Not if it's a team dinner. If it's a team dinner,
no. Stop going 0 for 18 in the Western Conference Finals.
Hey, Jimmy Johnson said Emmitt Smith didn't never have to come to practice. He never had to come to a team meeting.
And I feel that with.
Am I right, G?
Yeah, Bobby Bowden the same way.
Yeah. I mean,
we're gonna take a quick break, man. We'll be right back.
And I guess it boiled down to show up.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cat Williams, and you are listening to 3 Point Conversion Radio.
Are you tired of limiting yourself from tasty food because you want to eat healthy? Well, Salad Express will fix that problem for you. Salad Express is a gourmet salad and grill restaurant that gives you multiple options to satisfy your taste buds and keep you healthy. They have over 40 toppings, which are all cut fresh daily, and 7 homemade soups, including chili. You can also order hot sandwiches and wraps, with choices like grilled chicken, steak, salmon, and shrimp, which can all be added to salad as well. Go ahead and visit them today at 1055 Mansell Road, Suite 600 in Roswell, Georgia. Your taste buds will thank you.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Kent Bazemore from the Atlanta Hawks. You're now listening to 3 Point Conversion.
All right, we are back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Getting it revved up. This started to be that day today from the beginning, even before the show, and just carrying on. So, now, like I stated earlier, college football is back. It is back. Football is back, man. And quickly, Thursday was a very interesting game with who played Thursday? It was
Northwestern,
Purdue.
Yeah. And that was
and that running
back
back
play like Utah State.
That was last night.
That was last night. Utah State played.
The running back that got down was coming off a torn ACL in December.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out and
yeah.
And
Wisconsin came. They played Western Kentucky, and I was talking to D Intellectual, and I told D that Wisconsin it looked good at first. I mean, in his first game of the season, but it's like they supposed to drive that team. That team was supposed to get drove, but they came.
I was going to say what the score
is. They got better, and they did their thing, and but yeah, so it's back. First start the local teams, Georgia is playing today, and
shout out to Austin P. My cousin works there.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, it's a money game. They better spend it wisely.
Shout out.
Oh yeah,
P.
Yeah. So
Georgia just scored their first touchdown. It's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long day.
They
for
scored
us.
already? Right off the bus?
Well, I don't think the bus still en route.
The bus ain't en route. They scored. They up 17-zip right now.
Exactly.
But anyway, so we'll see how that. We want to see what Fromm does and see what the young kid does. And then Georgia Tech, they're hosting Alcorn State today. So like I said, it's not big games. The 3-point conversion has coverage of that game, but we'll see what happens. But it's some statement games going on today. and when I say statement, I'm saying today doesn't, for some teams it can, but it really doesn't determine if you're going to be in the national championship or playoffs or not. But at the same time, this is that statement game to show not only your fans, but the country and other teams, hey, we're for real. And I want to start off with this game first. We talked about this last week, and this guy, we know it's for Harbaugh, but I'm going to ask H.O., do you think...
This is 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
So Michigan plays Notre Dame. The number 14 ranked Michigan plays the 12th ranked Notre Dame. Now, do you think that this is much more than just for the coach, for Harbaugh? Who is the statement game for? Do you think it could possibly be the quarterback or even Notre Dame, for Notre Dame? Like, who really needs this?
Well, speaking of favoritism, Notre Dame ain't ever got to worry about trying to prove nothing to nobody because, trust me, in the end, they going to always be there. But I think you're talking about Notre Dame and Michigan, two high-profile teams that normally don't play this early.
Right.
Normally don't play this early.
First game.
So normally when they play, they're already in rhythm. This is the first game of the season. Notre Dame loses their best running back, comes back. Their leading rusher is the quarterback coming back, but they got a good defense. And Michigan, so the naysayers say, or so the guys say they got one of the best defenses in the nation. So this...
Wait. You said that. Wait. Why are you saying it like that? You don't think
because
so?
we don't know.
Okay.
I mean, we don't know. We don't know.
But you said Notre Dame has a great defense. You just said that.
But it don't matter if they do or they don't. The favoritism is going to always put them.
Right. As number. Okay. Right. No, you're right.
I said
you're
that
definitely
first.
right about that. Right.
So,
right.
But we'll see. And the thing about it, obviously, is the Shea Patterson situation. He done got more airtime. I know he got his Twitter followers up because he done got some airtime on ESPN this week, baby. So I think Michigan is the team that you want to look forward to see. Is the defense what they say, and is Shea Patterson what they actually need? Because if you paid attention, Desmond Howard picked them to win the conference.
So I'll say this, and I'm ask this quickly so we move to the next game. With Shea coming to Michigan, do you change the plan up? I know you will because you have a better athletic quarterback, better quarterback, but do you still stick with the basis of let's run the ball? We have a great defense. Now when we throw, it's just more dynamic, but let's run the ball.
You know, it's kind of funny, and I think we talked about this earlier. When Urban Meyer came, he brought a lot of speed to this conference, the Big Ten. Mm-hmm. Michigan was more like a pro-style offense. Mm-hmm. Jim Harbaugh went to Michigan running that same pro-style offense. He kind of got with Kaepernick and in San Francisco and kind of did some readjusting and things of that nature. So it's like, do you stay with what you know, or do you try to adjust and try to follow the speedy Ohio State way because I got a quarterback that, by all means, in this fact, Alabama could not stop Shea Patterson in 2 years. Mm-hmm. And so Alabama had to actually change the way they defense. They put more speed on defense and got all of the bigger boys off the line, so they had to trim it down because of Shea Patterson. That's a trip, ain't it?
Yeah. Now, I want to skip that game. We're going to go to the Miami, number 8 ranked Miami versus 25th ranked LSU Tigers. Why you shaking your head, G?
HO already knows what
Yes.
I said about this game.
Exactly.
I would pick LSU with Miami. They have a opportunistic defense. I don't know who they have on offense, and forcing turnovers while entertaining and fun to watch is not an ability.
You got a point about that. He got a point. He got a point. And they lose their best running back, I think Harmon, to the NFL. They may have gotten back one of the receivers in Miami, but
that's what I was gonna say. Who named Miami?
Well, I know they had that one guy who's like 6'5" and makes one catch a game.
Well, the quarterback is coming back, but he's not really
a quarterback like that.
Yeah.
Well,
so
like-
y'all hollering upset?
Well, I mean, you got a transfer in Burrow at LSU who
Joe
actually
Burrow.
came from Ohio State.
And the reason I say upset because it's 25 against 8. So it sounds like y'all not saying it's an upset, really, if they win.
Not really.
But based on the rankings, it would be an
I-
upset, right?
I mean, I don't really believe in Miami. I mean, I don't really. First of all, I don't even trust these rankings right now.
No,
That's-
'cause it's too early.
Throw that out the window.
Right.
I think Orgeron, whether he got the job that he wanted, but you get the job that you want, but you're still on the hot seat anyway. I mean, because again, their whole thing has been you never got that quarterback with all the talent that think about it. They had Landry and Odell Beckham at LSU at the same time.
And they couldn't win.
You didn't even hear about them.
And they had Dwayne Bowe.
Yes.
And you can't blame it on Les Miles now. I mean, for years that was it. And I mean, to me, I think
Do they still have the same recruit
was warranted
coordinator?
that.
That's probably
That's what, two of the
that
top
guy's
5
fault.
receivers, 2 of the top, at worst, 10 receivers?
because they hadn't had a good quarterback
Since Jamarcus Russell.
Since what's his name was there?
Well,
Nick.
only in college.
Since Nick was there.
Right.
Nick Saban.
Mitch, I'm glad you
Right.
said that.
Only in college.
All right. So now, we say upset. Y'all think Miami?
I don't believe in Miami, but I don't believe in LSU either. So I just think this.
Because I don't.
This will be the
yeah.
highlight of LSU's season, and Miami will probably go like 8-4, and Ed Orgeron he'll probably get.
Yeah, I didn't.
So they're gonna be
I
out
didn't
there
think
top
this is-
25 quick, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a good game anyway, but I mean, okay. But then we have Virginia Tech, number 20, playing FSU. Now, this is interesting. Of course, we want to see
Very.
what Francois is going to do.
Right. Coming
Is
off that
he
injury.
back? Is he legit? I mean, the first year he was amazing, but still, it's like, that was 1 year. Virginia Tech.
Defensively, as always, special team wise, they're going to be good. Don't know if they quite have the athletes as Florida State.
Right.
But you don't know what Taggart is actually bringing to Florida State. You got athletes. Obviously, Francois played great against Alabama in the first game last year.
Mm-hmm.
You got Cam Akers coming back, who they had to actually lean on last year when Francois went out. So it's running back. But they had a lot of talent in Oregon with Taggart, and I don't know if he actually executed all of the talent.
Well,
they
they're trying
had.
to change the system because that was his 1 year there.
Yeah.
And that was the
That
thing.
1 year.
Do you think the players will believe in Taggart? I mean, he just get in there.
Right.
Some of the players that are there was there with my man
Jimbo.
Jimbo.
We'll
So-
see because Virginia Tech, whether as long as Beamer was there and then with their new coach, they're going to muck up the game. It's
Right,
going to
they
be low scoring, like 13-10.
Block punt.
Nasty
Yeah.
game.
And so someone's going to block a punt or
Yes,
kick or
yeah,
something.
exactly.
So now, the game of the, I think is the game of the day, is Washington
Auburn.
and Auburn. That's here in Atlanta.
Yep.
So traffic's going to be crazy.
Not just for that. It's supposed to be 750,000 people here this weekend.
Yeah.
We won't mention all the other.
Right, all the other, but
it's not our job.
quickly,
Washington, watch out. Chico McClatcher, I told you about Wednesday. Miles Gaston, the running back, and Jake Brown, and finally is graduating.
Yeah.
Well, I guess He's been there 6 years.
Been there for like 8 years.
Yeah, something like that. But they lose their top receiver, but McClatchin obviously was there 2 years ago with Jake Browning. So I think you got to watch out for Washington in this game. I'm not quite sure if I trust Auburn. Auburn last year had 3 chances to get into the Final Four. And they just each time.
Yeah, like, I mean, Auburn always been that team to me that's just, except for that year. And even that year when they won the championship, it was like, and they played well in the championship game, but it was like off some luck to me. What's their identity? I mean, it's because they run the ball, but it's like they still want to pass the ball. Like,
yeah, but they gonna blame they didn't have their top running back, in these big games from last year. But I don't. Jarrett Stidham is supposed to be the guy at quarterback. I don't necessarily trust him. I don't know what kind of running game. You physical up front, but you got to experience watching a team that has to travel all the way across the country to come here in Atlanta. Hopefully they didn't get here too early to get involved in some of these nightlife situations or whatever the case may be. But I trust Chris Peterson more than I trust Gus Malzahn in the opening game.
30 seconds. Browning. I don't think he lived up to his hype.
Right, I agree.
Do you think he puts it together this year?
He's a college quarterback. I'll just say that.
We're going to sign off just like that. We're going to take a quick break.
Take it for how you want it.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Gary Payton. Y'all listen to 3 Point Conversion Radio. It's the bomb.
I am on the elf. I listen to the 3 Point Conversion Radio.
Yeah, check out my man, Mr. Controversy, on 1100 a.m. Saturday mornings, 10 o'clock. Sports Talk, 3 Point Conversion, where fans' opinions matter.
It's time to get in the mind of Mr. Controversy and be intellectual with what's on my mind.
Back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And this next segment, What's on Our Mind, What's on My Mind, is brought to you by Sucker Free Life LLC. Make sure you live your truth for the world to see, because everyone can be sucker free. Make sure you purchase your apparel today exclusively on Facebook.com/Sucker Free Life LLC. So this is that segment where we like to talk about what's on our mind. We're not interrupted, and we have 4 to 5 minutes to talk, get some stuff off our chest. And this is what's on my mind. It might not be a popular opinion, but oh well. So I mentioned earlier about the situation in Nebraska, and it's been a lot of situations, and I'm sorry I can't name all of the names, but we saw it happen at Texas A&M. We saw it happen. It was 3 quarterbacks, right? It did that. 3 quarterbacks left, and you see it more than often. And only reason why I don't agree with, I understand if you're getting treated unfairly, and you want to leave, okay, but you're upset because or if you got recruited and you were promised a job and you're not getting it, I could kind of understand that. But if it's to the point where because you lost the competition, bruh, you just lost. And now people say, well, he should go somewhere where because it doesn't happen like that in life. It's not like that. Because the funny thing is, let's say if you do go somewhere and then you get to shine, you go to the NFL, what's going to happen when you sign that contract and somebody beat you out and they don't trade you or don't cut you? What are you going to do then? You can't force a trade. You a young pup. As them older folks say, with young buck. What you going to do? So I think the parents that's dealing with these children, I know you want your son to play and you think it's costing you money. I get that part. But man, to just say I'm leaving, because he's named the starter. Now, if it's a situation that happened within like Ohio State, that situation, whatever, the Penn State situation, which is cool, they were saying, look, if you all want to leave, y'all can go. We'll give y'all a transfer. I get that. I understand. But just to leave because it's tough, you lost the competition, this guy was better than you, so now you want to go somewhere else and play. Just like that. That's weak. That comes from everybody gets a trophy. That's where that comes from, really. Because you can't take competition. You can't take losing or saying, I'm not as good. Get better. That's it. And I think because of the players, these organizations and the committee, I should say, are letting them get away with this. Something needs to be changed because it's not like that in the real world. And then we see when they go to the NFL, we've seen it in other sports, when favoritism and stuff like that. And then when they go to an NBA team or Major League Baseball team and they don't get it, they don't know how to act and conduct themselves or take it, they're not out the league. Why? Because they show their tails and now nobody wants to deal with you because you a spoiled brat that might be garbage, or just you a spoiled brat because you want your way. You can't get your way all the time. And I really think that this is a bad example for these kids. They need heart. They need competition. That's why you see the tough ones, going to the NFL or going anywhere else, and then they make it because they're battling. Or he wasn't supposed to start, but he started. Now, if you played 2 years with this team, you was with there 2 to 3, and okay. But as soon as they tell you you can't get in, or you're not going to start, that's where it's like, no. And if you got 1 year of eligibility left, yeah, go ahead. You need to go somewhere probably. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're trying to get out. But to just automatically say, I'm leaving just because, and give them that right, forget, in my opinion, it's wrong. And it's horrible. And that's what's on my mind.
That's what's up. You mad about it?
This is sad, man. I just hate that, man. It's
participation trophy.
That's what it is, man. Everybody gets a participation trophy. And then you look at it, what happens? You get that. They don't know how to lose. My son was getting one. No,
If you're not first, you're last.
Yep.
Agreed.
That's what it is.
That's what's up. Can't be mad at you. So it's definitely time for me to talk about what's on my mind. This week, a new show came on, a new episode called The Shop, new series. It's LeBron James, where he's in a barbershop. He's talking about, he's being candid. He's talking about anything. He's speaking freely. There's no holding back. One of the biggest things that came out this week he talked about was his participation, how he felt about when he went to St. Mary's. Isn't that the school he went to? Was it
St. Vincent's.
St. Vincent's. When he went to St. Vincent's, when he first came in, he did not like white people. That might have shocked a lot of people. I'm sure made a lot of people feel a certain type of way. That's one of the first things he talked about was how he didn't, where he came from. His climate was, white people are against you. They don't have no goodwill, no good feeling about you. They don't want you to succeed. That's where he come from. And I know, coming from an urban area, that's how it comes off, and that's what you're used to. Another thing that he talked about was how black athletes are held to a different standard than white athletes. One of the biggest things he brought up was if he's out, he's with his family, he's at dinner, and somebody came up and wanted a picture. If he says he's at dinner, he'll be blasted. It'll be everywhere on every social media, on news channels saying that LeBron didn't want to take a picture with anyone. But if it was Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, they'd say, hey, he's with his family. That's understandable. Let's try to catch up with him later. It's always that double standard when it's a white athlete and a black athlete. But that's not even what I'm really getting at. What I'm getting at is the appreciation that I've found for LeBron James. I don't want to say I've always been against him, but I think one of the biggest things is that he has always knocked the Chicago Bulls out of the playoffs. So regardless regardless to how I feel about him as a player, person, or anything, it's like one of them things, right? Like, how Cleveland hates the Bulls because of what Michael Jordan did to them in all these playoffs. I can't like LeBron. So when D Rose was at the top of his game, MVP, guess who knocked us out? The Heat. Like, it's always was one of them things. I'm built to be against him, meaning against the team that he plays on, because he's always in the East. So that's where me being against LeBron, I guess you can say, come from. But as a person, he has literally grown. We've seen him go from that 18-year-old that came in the league to that, 34-year-old, 35-year-old that he is now. And I always say, I think Cleveland was, when he first went to Cleveland, it was kind of his early years. He went to Miami, and he became a man. It was kind of like going to college because he never had been away from Cleveland, right? And then when he came back to Cleveland, he became a man. He solidified himself. I am LeBron, this who I am, and this is what it is. And I think this shop, what he's showing is who he is, and he's speaking up about things that, I think one of the quotes that he said was, he was sitting back and he was trying to figure out whether he should say something, and what came to his mind was, ain't nobody else saying nothing. None of my other peers are saying anything. Nobody's saying nothing about what's going on in society, so I'm going to take that step and do it. And he has done it. He's came out with the school, and his school is not just about the school. It's about the parents that may not have a high school diploma. He's working with them to get GEDs. He has a pantry for the kids to be able to take food home. So he's becoming. So I don't want to say Muhammad Ali, and the reason I don't want to say that because what Muhammad Ali did and what he went through, I don't think that that there's a comparison to that, right? Not wanting to go to the war and talking up against racism in the 60s, that's a completely different thing than it is right now, right? So I don't want to say Muhammad Ali. He is the LeBron James of his era. He is what exactly he's supposed to be. That's why I don't compare him to Mike. He is who he is, and I appreciate for everything that he do, and for him to come out with this show to speak openly, freely about everything that he's speaking about. Man, hats off, kudos, and salute LeBron James. That's what's on my mind.
Yeah, he's been great, man, when it comes to things like that. Probably still not a fan yet, that doesn't translate to the NBA. But now I can watch him and don't have that hate in him. I used to have that hate.
Yeah.
I didn't like him at all.
Yeah.
Rooted against him, well, like you said, that was mainly just because of he knocked. I was never a LeBron fan when he came in, but
right, because he was crowned.
When he got when he got with Miami, and then they started knocking the Bulls off,
right?
And that's when it got to the point.
And even as other than the basketball, some of the moves you made was kind of funny, right? Like I ain't really feel them. You know what I mean? and you know,
mainly because they were beating the Bulls. So,
but I think what happens is that they grow. Because I didn't appreciate Kobe until late in his career when he made that change, right? When he started doing things different. You know what I mean? And I think what it is that they come in young,
right,
and they grow up. And they get to maybe where we were already, right? And I think that's one of the biggest things.
I just hated on Kobe. Look, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
You're tuned into WWE Hakeville, AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
Sports
Roundtable. Ric Flair or Floyd Mayweather, who has the most swag?
Two things. When you transcend race and the African Americans get behind you with woo, woo! And allegedly you sleep with Halle Berry. Woo! Drop the mic!
Catch Sports Roundtable every Wednesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWE 1100 AM and SRTRadio.com.
Give me 2 claps and a Ric Flair.
What's good, family? I'm Marlon Sucker Free Jones, a Sucker Free Life LLC, and I'm locked in every Saturday to the best sports show on the planet, the 3-point conversion, where no team or no player is off limits. So let's talk sports, the best of the best, the worst of the worst, and everything in between. Can you dig that?
No mercy, don't let up on him. Go hard on him, Mr. Controversy. Hit him with the stop it button.
All right, we are back inside the 3-point conversion sports lounge. I want to thank everyone who's been listening and watching us on Facebook Live, supporting us. If you're listening, you can go to Facebook. If you're on Facebook and go to Facebook Live, you can see the show live. Also, if you're watching it live and you have to leave, you can listen to the show on 1100 WWE, or 1100 The Real, I should say, AM, or just go to iHeartRadio, Radio Now, and Tune In Radio. We're there live right now. But like I said, I just want to I want to thank everybody and let everybody know we definitely appreciate them supporting us, man, just being there for us. So never go unrecognized. And I also want to give a special shout out to someone is fairly new, I guess, sitting in the chair right now, getting their haircut. My man, Abdul. What up, Abdul? Appreciate you for listening to the show, man. Getting your haircut, man. Hey, I know you're thinking of leaving Atlanta, maybe going to San Diego, but if you leave, bro, you're going to miss these haircuts, so make sure you stay, you know what I'm saying? But appreciate you for listening to the show anyway. And now it is time for the most infamous, the most famous Stop It segment.
Stop it.
That's good.
Stop it.
Yes, S-T-O-P, new word, I-T. Stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, dude. It's on you.
Yeah, so this week some more documents came out regarding Zach Smith and OSU, Ohio State. The Ohio, ain't that what they say? The Ohio State University. A police report came out. In 2015, there was a police investigation into Smith after deputy Title 9 coordinator heard about it from law enforcement. The document dump features some of her handwritten notes, which include a run-through of some of the school preliminary options. And what they're talking about, is what they're going to do with the team, restricted activity. Lots of smoke have had financial issues. What we do if this was a player? Are they're entitled to due process? Restrict now, no recruit, no media, things of that magnitude. So one of the things that also was written was they were aware of the allegations allowing for due process. However, the way that allegations were spelled. Now, when I tell you this was sprawled across the media. This was everywhere. Allegations was spelled ALLIGATION. So I'm not sure if she was looking for alligator or what was really being looked for, but it definitely wasn't allegation because that's not how you spell it. So she definitely needs to stop it because this was everywhere. It's like a media whirlwind, and she spelled allegations like she's looking for an alligator.
Wow. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
This might
Stop
be.
it.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. This might be Ohio State stop it segment. I'm giving a stop it to this Ohio State period. Everybody involved. Just for the simple fact that for the 8th time, like I can see Brett Favre going crazy. Like, oh my God, they killing me with this. Why don't they make up their minds? Urban Meyer came out and said that he never lied at the Big Ten media day. He came out again and said that he didn't lie about it. And then Ohio State's back him up.
Stop it.
Why are we suspending him then, bro? What's the story? The story
So it keeps changing. Let me get one more stop it. Another stop it is for.
Stop it.
Do you know that one of their somebody just quit, right? Somebody just quit with OSU. You know why they quit? Because they felt like the punishment to Urban Meyer was not enough.
Oh, one of the guys on the board.
One of the board members quit.
One of
the trustees quit.
Yeah.
Because he felt like
it wasn't
the suspension was not enough for Urban Meyer.
Man, that's what I'm saying.
Stop it.
It's a lot going
Did
on.
he have $38 million to give Urban Meyer to buy him out?
Right. Look, I just got a call. I got a text message from Ohio State saying, "Give that guy a stop it." Like you said, was he gonna pay out?
Stop
exactly.
Anyway.
Like it's I think it's still gonna be more coming out, but because they've already suspended them, I think that's gonna be it on that side. But I think so much gonna come out, it's gonna be.
Well, I think the not the president, but I guess it would be the president. Who I think
AD?
I think the AD. I'm sorry.
He done survived. He got 9 lives. Gene Smith done survived.
Oh yeah,
twice.
He made it through the trestle joint.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think
9 lives.
I think he might. I think they're gonna be coming for him next.
No, he probably got something on somebody.
Yeah, he got them pictures.
He got something on somebody. When you got something on somebody,
he got something on him. Cause he didn't
you
get
can
no
do
hit.
what you want.
I got a little small stop it for some of these, I guess, people who just respond. Well, they react to certain things. 2 weeks ago, obviously, we was talking about the Michigan, the Jim Harbaugh and things of that nature, and then, I kind of took the liberty to have some conversations, hear about it in the community or whatever the case may be, and I was just stating facts, as we always do, and it bothers me when people say, "Well, who are they going to hire? Who's going to replace them?" Well, do you know Urban Meyer was not Urban Meyer at Utah?
Right.
You do know Nick Saban coached at Michigan State, where he wasn't the best coach in the nation, right?
Uh-huh.
You hire people who want to coach.
Who can coach?
Right.
I mean, Urban Meyer and Nick Saban are considered the two best coaches today. But at one time,
10, 15 years ago,
Do you know what Nick Saban record was at Michigan State? I mean, so at some point,
and Izzo was the man. Izzo was the man over there. Nick Saban was looking like second fish.
Exactly. So all those people who really just don't understand sports and just responds or just reacts to that, give them a stop it.
Stop it.
Like you said, it all got to come together. It's not just about being a coach. It's about recruiting, coaches, players, all that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we're gonna take a quick break. And we'll be right back with Is This Really Happening? We'll be right back.
Let me break down to y'all what's so dope about the three-point conversion. First of all, everybody is a fan of the game first. Second of all, everybody is a student of the game second. And third of all, we're the average sports fan just like everybody else. We're not coming in here, walking with our nose tipped high, acting snooty, acting brand new. This is a grassroots organization. Bar none. The three-point conversion, where fans' opinions matter. Be sure to visit the website www.the3pointconversion.com. Get your fix, get your articles, multimedia, and everything else that you, as a sports fan, need. So again, the3pointconversion.com. It's where it's at, man, where fans' opinions matter.
This is DNA Sports Talk. This is Don, the D and DNA. Make sure you check us out each and every Monday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time through TuneIn Radio, iRadio Now, and iHeartRadio. And make sure you check out DNASportsTalk.com. If you're more than just a Hawks, Falcons, or Braves fan, get the latest and greatest sports news on MLB, PGA, NASCAR, WNBA, NBA, NCAA, and NFL news and highlights.
Sit back and relax. You're back in the three-point conversion with Mr. Controversy and The Intellectual.
All right, we are back inside the Three-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. We got superstar H.O.
Yeah, you already know how we do it.
And we got D, Intellectual.
You know how we get on.
And we got Mr. G as the engineer.
Yo. I knew it was yo.
All right, quickly, because we have to move on. We'll start with the guest first. What you got going on, man, this weekend?
Man, just some chilling, man. College football is here. First weekend, Labor Day weekend, is smooth sailing throughout the whole weekend. Got a fantasy draft at 4:30 today. NFL. That's about it.
I need to holler at you, man. You do.
Yeah, I do fantasy, bro.
You can't do it though, because the show is Wednesday.
Yeah,
Message
we drafting
Wednesday from 7 to 9.
Oh, wow.
On 1100 AM, the real.
Yes, sir.
But what you got going on?
I think you can do both, though.
Really?
I think you can draft and do your show at the same time.
What you got? What you got going on?
Well, it's like you said, it's Labor Day weekend.
Barbecue, man.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
House in the Park this weekend. So tomorrow, Grant Park, House in the Park. Should be real loud. You know, we from Chicago. House music real big. Got my best friend in town this weekend. It's a lot popping this weekend. This weekend crazy in the A. Luda Day weekend.
Stay out of that traffic.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna Uber.
My man.
What you have, Mr. Uber?
I probably won't be doing that too much this weekend, but I'm going to a silent disco tonight.
I want to go to one of them. I want to go to one
with
of them.
The headphones, right?
Yeah, you just
Yeah, it's at the Buckhead Theater around the corner, and they're playing all Prince and Michael Jackson.
I might change my plans.
So that's tight. What's the point of that?
Cause so what happens is, right, if I'm not mistaken, everybody had headphones.
Yeah, and they'll have like different colors or different colored lights on them. So if you're listening to Michael Jackson, you might be saying next to somebody who's listening to Prince.
So one person off beat and the other one just dancing?
Well, you find the other people who have the same lights on their headphones as you to hang out with or talk with, dance with.
Everybody that I know.
If you want to talk to somebody, you take your headphones off,
no
talk at the bar, and you can hear each other.
See, that part makes sense, but all the other stuff.
I hear it's been one of the dopest.
No,
I heard a few people that went to it
yeah.
that it's been dope.
But if you're looking at somebody, just say if you see a young lady and you like, man, she look good, and you looking at her, you moving to Michael Jackson and she's dancing to Prince.
You need to change your headphones.
No, listen what I'm saying though, right? But no, right. But what I'm saying is, because you looking at her and you watching her move. And you mess around and get off beat because she's on a different beat.
Well, you're on a different beat.
That's what I'm saying.
She know where she at.
But you watching her.
She know where she at.
Right. But that's my point. You're watching her, and when you watching her, then you get off beat. You look stupid. She's looking at you like, man, what? You ain't even dancing on nothing. You just, I ain't gonna say it. You just off beat. Go ahead, G. I don't understand that, but go ahead, bro.
All right, so is this really happening? To where we find a couple of news stories that seem kind of strange, kind of bizarre. All right, so the first one, this happened in Tennessee, and a man was arrested because he threw something at his girlfriend very hard, and that projectile was a biscuit.
I heard about this.
A biscuit?
A biscuit.
He got arrested for throwing a biscuit at his old lady.
He was arrested. Jeffrey Tomerlin was arrested after he allegedly threw a biscuit, quote unquote, really hard at his ex-girlfriend's face. And he did that because he saw her with a new guy. And he yelled some racial slurs according to reports. So that means the guy, Jeffrey Tomerlin, is white, and we can assume that the new boyfriend is black, at least not white.
Right.
So when he saw them, he began punching the hood of the car and telling he's going to kill them, and of course some racial slurs, and he used the biscuit as a weapon.
Well, I find it odd that you say that you're going to kill somebody, but throw a biscuit. That's just don't go together.
I was just about to say that's like the softest. What? But at the same time, that meant he was so mad he grabbed anything he could. The first thing he grabbed.
I mean,
but even with that, like Ajo said, right? Like you gonna kill somebody, but you gonna throw something.
But I felt like it was premeditated. Like.
Premeditated biscuit throwing.
Like he went to Popeyes for lunch or something. He saw his ex-girlfriend.
They weren't.
No.
Oh.
So he saved the biscuit for them.
Yeah. He saw them when he went to Popeyes, and he was so upset. He went home and he put that biscuit on like a napkin
in the freezer
too. Left it there for hours.
But we know.
I'm finna say, boy, the Popeyes gonna get mad. You saying the biscuit was hard.
But we know.
Well, it could be anybody's biscuit.
No, but Popeyes biscuits.
It was just room temperature.
But look, Popeyes biscuits, room temperature. They sit for an hour or so. The mugs as hard as
not just Popeyes. Any biscuit. If I go home right now and cook a biscuit, let it sit on the counter for an hour.
But Popeyes,
I'm knocking somebody out.
But Popeyes biscuits be extra hard.
But again, I'm riding with H.O. How are you talking about killing somebody
and you premeditating
you throwing? If you not throwing a spear, then you ain't talking about killing nobody.
Yeah. Throw some hands.
What did she do?
Call the police, apparently.
Just call the police. There
Did they
hasn't been
laugh?
a report.
No, he probably got arrested for assault.
Well, he was arrested for assault, vandalism,
I mean, of course
and public
not.
intoxication.
But they were laughing though.
What's
Like,
vandalism? Throwing a biscuit in
Because
the car?
he was punching the hood
Hitting
of
the
the
car.
car.
Oh.
That boy that got in trouble about a
So
biscuit.
hold on. You go kill somebody throwing a biscuit. You punching the car just like punching somebody in football with the helmet on. I mean, really?
Right.
Who are you hurting?
All right, before we move
He
on.
need his little probation.
Quickly, do you think that that helped Popeyes or? I mean, because hey, Popeyes biscuits they more than just eating. Or was
They're
it
weapons.
was it bad? Like, oh my God, biscuits so hard. He knocking folks out with the that's wow.
And
All right.
So the other story, and we know that D and Mr. Controversy are Bulls fans. Yes. HO is a Hawks fan.
Unfortunately.
Man, they coming up. Go ahead.
But I don't see any of you selling your fandom for any reason.
Heck no.
So a guy who is a Knicks fan sold his fandom, sold his allegiance to the Knicks so that he could be a Lakers fan because they have LeBron. And someone actually bought it. Someone actually he auctioned his fandom off on eBay, and someone bought it.
Wait, what?
Wait,
how much?
What's the ticket going for?
So it was at least $3,000, but there were some terms. So the guy who bought the fandom, has a YouTube channel and felt that it would be good content to buy someone's fandom, and he presented some terms.
I mean, but what is he buying though?
He finna come with these terms. That's why I'm over here trying to see what that 3,000 worth.
So this is so he can put this on his YouTube channel, basically. But he will, the guy who sold his fandom has to attend 2 home games for his new team, which is now the Lakers. 1 home, 1 away, and he has to place a $500 bet that the Lakers will surpass their over/under win total, which I think is at 48. And yeah, this was auctioned off on eBay, and he's no longer a Knicks fan, but
he's winning. I think
I'm trying to figure out if I can do that. I'm not saying I will, but hey,
I mean, it's a thought.
That's right. You still got 2,500, and you can go to LA.
Right.
You get a trip. You're gonna do a trip to LA for the game, and then you see him again in New York,
right,
in the Garden. And
what team you gonna do it for?
I'm not saying I can do it.
No, I'm just saying. But if you did it, what team would you do it for?
Oh,
we're gonna put everybody on the spot.
Right.
No, we'll put everybody on the spot. Yeah. So what team? Well, I'm saying what team?
I'm bandwagon. I'm Golden State.
But what team you doing it? What team are you trading your fandom for? For you, Chicago?
I just told you. I'm Golden State. I'm bandwagon.
Right.
No,
but
for
who
Chicago.
are you leaving? You leaving the Bulls?
That's what he had to.
I mean, that's what it would.
That's
That's
what
what it would.
Who would you leave? If it's,
I'm the Hawks fan, but my
no,
value
I'm
ain't
saying
really.
whether it's NFL. I'm just saying any team that you love.
The
can
Fire.
leave-
The Fire.
You're not a
The
Chicago
Chicago
fan.
Fire.
You're not a Fire fan.
Chicago
That ain't got
Fire.
no value to it.
Chicago Fire.
It'd have to be the Hawks. Yeah, it'd have to be the Hawks because they come in fourth with.
I
my
know.
team.
I know it's the Dallas Cowboys right now.
Might be Florida State.
yeah, it'll probably be Florida State.
Hey, I'm trying to think. Who would I do it for?
My college team. I'm still, of course, Illinois.
Can I say?
I'll probably give up.
Can I say the White Sox? Because I know
That's
I'm a Cubs
probably.
fan.
But no,
You're not a White Sox fan. Watch out with that.
I mean, I root for
I'm
them.
a Chicago fan, so
But
I
I'm
would.
a Cubs fan.
Yeah.
Hey, that'd be hard, bro. It'll probably.
Yeah, I
be,
do it for that. Yeah.
Ooh, would it be the Bulls? It's not definitely not the Bears.
I'm gonna need more than that. Look, I don't know that 20.
I have to come up with my own terms.
Yeah, but them terms ain't bad.
And then he bet on 40.
I thought it was like he got to buy a jersey.
Right, and gotta wear this. and
Yeah,
do
I thought it
all
was gonna be
this.
something crazy.
But 48. I think the Lakers can win over 48.
But even
games.
still, he's still 2,500 up. Even if he lose
Right.
that 500,
And he'll win. He gonna
and
win.
the other 500 you can use for the trip and the ticket.
Yeah.
You still $2,000 up.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Hey, you might. Yeah.
And he might come up with that 55-win team.
Because if he plays a 55, if he plays a $500 bet, could win.
All right, so real quick,
Man,
who what you think was still the wildest, the craziest?
I just wanted to add that he decided to do this because the Knicks passed on Michael Porter Jr. and that upset him enough.
That reasoning, the reasoning behind it ain't. That's not enough.
Kevin Knox might
that's
be
not
the,
enough.
Might be
But
the,
I think that was the wildest.
Can he have a?
He need a stop.
Yeah, can he get a stop?
Yeah,
he definitely.
Because when Kyrie and Jimmy Butler go that next
he gonna
year,
change.
He gonna switch back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for your.
But because of Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
And right now his back is.
They say he had this miracle surgery though.
Yeah, he took some black seed oil or something.
But HGH.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Coconut oil.
What's up, man? It's Meta World P. Shout out to the 3-Point Conversion Radio.
Are you tired of limiting yourself from tasty food because you want to eat healthy? Well, Salad Express will fix that problem for you. Salad Express is a gourmet salad and grill restaurant that gives you multiple options to satisfy your taste buds and keep you healthy. They have over 40 toppings, which are all cut fresh daily, and 7 homemade soups, including chili. You can also order hot sandwiches and wraps, with choices like grilled chicken, steak, salmon, and shrimp, which can all be added to salad as well. Go ahead and visit them today at 1055 Mansell Road, Suite 600 in Roswell, Georgia. Your taste buds will thank you.
Hey, I'm Diana Taurasi from the Phoenix Mercury, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion Radio.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. It's not really breaking news, but speaking of LA, Luol Deng and the Lakers have reached an agreement on a contract buyout. So
finally,
let me hold some, Lou. Yes, sir.
For real, he definitely got a bag.
Boy, let me hold some.
Luol Deng about 45 years old.
Did he sell his Fandom?
Low key, he's not.
I know
because he only played 1 year.
But no, I'm saying, but he's about 45 years old because he played with the Bulls. Seemed like he played with them like 30 years.
17 years.
Right. He probably only like 28 years.
Right.
He came in the league when he was 12.
He literally, he Iguodala age.
He came in the league when he was like.
He came in with Iguodala. Remember, Iguodala played 1 year. I remember I was working somewhere. I was working somewhere out there, and they both came in the store I was working in, and they was at the Moody Bible.
He might be a year younger.
Yeah, but I think they came in the same draft, right? Yeah.
No. Luol Deng was in the 2004 draft. Yeah. Iguodala was in the 2006 draft.
Okay.
So that's the only player I know that's played longer than LeBron James, but he's younger than LeBron. Right?
But you know, they came out of high school. Deng was second behind LeBron in ranking.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
I think Kendrick Perkins was third then.
Oh, stop it.
He's like 192.
Exactly.
Oak
tree.
Y'all think he got something left?
Who?
Luol.
No.
Tibbs is gonna find out.
No, he don't, because Tibbs ran him to the ground. So.
Well, he going to Minnesota, I'm sure.
Tibbs
I'm sure he's gonna go. He gonna go to Minnesota. He gonna be in Minnesota.
Because that's the only offer
he's gonna be Jimmy Butler backup.
Let's switch sports.
He average 35 minutes a game.
NFL starts next week, and actually Thursday, where the Atlanta Falcons will be playing on Thursday night against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Can't stand them Thursday night games, man.
Man, yeah, it's not. This might be a good one though.
It's gonna be a good one,
but yeah, I don't like it. I don't really like the concept of just.
The first one is okay. The rest
is
garbage.
Like how you play on 4-day rest.
But Fox say they got some great games coming up on Thursday night.
You saying period?
Yes,
I'm talking about. I don't like the fact that they have an opening game on. I miss opening kickoff. Like it's like baseball. How baseball started. MLB was doing the
Sunday.
Sunday night first. No, just do I was thinking about baseball.
Monday at 1 o'clock. That's when baseball starts.
And that's what I miss with NFL. I miss just opening kickoff.
I just don't like Thursday night games. Period.
Right,
I think
feel
it's
But-
it mucks up the game.
Let's get to these divisions though.
Yes. NFC.
It's I wonder who we will, I guess, find out who will be representing. But I want really to just talk about the division and who we think are going to win them. So I want to start off with the NFC West. And, I'll go with you. Who do you have winning the NFC West?
I got the Rams.
You don't think anybody can challenge them?
I think Seattle still doesn't have any receivers. Don't have an offensive line. Russell will have to do too much. Arizona don't have a quarterback. The best, you just signed the dude to the most ridiculous contract ever in life.
Until next
you
week.
got you got
to the night.
Yeah,
Right.
and then you got you got Todd Gurley and I don't necessarily believe in golf, but he got so much talent around him that
you can't
he
mess
just
up.
he just riding the coattails. So I just don't think nobody out there can actually compete with them right now.
Do you think it's anybody that has a chance of competing?
In that division, maybe the 49ers can make some kind of run because and that's just based on there's not a lot of tape on Garoppolo.
Right.
That's the only thing they have to go on. But on paper, look at the rant. What they have Aaron Donald, they have Ndamukong Suh, they the secondary that they have with Talib and Joyner and Peters, and Tremaine Johnson, and I feel they got like 9
Pro Bowl.
DBs that could all start at any time. And then on offense, you have Gurley, you have Jared Goff, and you have a coach who can get the best out of him. Because we all thought Goff was a bust, but that was Jeff Fisher. But now he has an offensive coach, and he made a Pro Bowl last year. So I think he's going to take another step. So on paper, I don't think anyone challenged the Rams in that division.
Okay, D, who was the most interesting team besides LA that you think or player? We could go either or.
I think the most interesting team would be San Francisco because you don't know what to expect. You know what Garoppolo did them last 5 games. He put up numbers that's astronomical. You're expecting this to happen, but again, like everybody say, there's not much tape. You don't know what a team is going to do after they have this tape on you, what to expect. However, from what I've seen from him, he probably that dude. So I think I think that team is going to be the surprising team. As far as Seattle, I think that they're going through a whole identity crisis. They don't even know what they're going to be.
Yep.
Who is their running back? We know that Baldwin is their wide receiver. We know that Russell Wilson is their quarterback. And we know that their safety is holding out.
Well, they drafted Rashad Penny.
He's hurt.
But he's hurt. So it's going to be Procise or
he's say hurt
with the Colorado State
right.
or something.
They always get hurt.
And then Russell Wilson usually running around for his life anyway in the backfield.
I think they might be better.
Dwayne Brown.
Yeah, and I think this is a full year, so I think offensively, with the offensive line, I think they're better. It's just defensively now, where do you go?
But your offense was predicated off your defense.
Yeah. I like Shaq Griffin. I like Shaq, but
he gonna make that much of a difference?
No, I'm just saying. But I like him at the corner. The cornerback is.
He playing linebacker though.
Who is that? What's the corner? What is his brother name? They got the same
Shaquem.
Shaquem. Yeah. They got the same name. I was thinking dang, how you
Shaq
name
is
this?
a linebacker.
Look, how you gonna name your son?
Shaq
2 sons the same name.
Shaq and Shaquem.
Shaquem. See,
yeah.
So neither one of their name can be Shaq.
It can't be
Shaq.
It can't because they both Shaq.
Yeah, I
they
guess
call him
you're right.
Shaq 1, Shaq 2. They called one. That's what I'm saying. They were calling the
Don't
cornerback.
to me.
Well, no,
Don't to me.
They were calling the back. They're twins.
They are
They
twins.
were calling the cornerback Shaq. And at first, they were calling him that last year.
Okay, so what?
And then his brother, I heard him call him Shaq. That's why I was confused. But either or, that cornerback, I think he's pretty good. But
Well,
now
he was there last year.
Yeah, I like him. But now with Earl Thomas being in trade talks and they're listening,
He said he ain't coming.
it's just so much.
Y'all want Earl Thomas too?
I take him.
You take?
I actually don't.
I will.
Because it's going to cost us, and he's a little older, and I think our 2 safeties that we got are going to be stars, Eddie Jackson and Amos. They
I
both are.
love Eddie Jackson.
Yeah, they both are.
I don't
like
think
two
Amos
of the
is
top.
a star. Amos can hit, but he missed too many. But either or. But that's like I said. I think Seattle, like you said, the crisis they have defensively. I think.
Yeah.
But I agree with you all. I think LA should run away with this. Now let's go to the NFC North, and of course we talked about the Bears, what they just did, but to me this might be the South is hard too, but this is another tough division because Minnesota. I mean, to me, we don't know what Kirk can do, but I think they've upgraded with Kirk Cousins, and Diggs is finally healthy. We don't know what we're going to see in the running back Dalvin Cook, but he's possibly he was a beast in college. So if he gets back to
he was on point.
He was on point in the first 3-4 games.
Yeah.
I had him in fantasy. He's putting up numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
See, give him a stop it, because what I to talk about when you compare fantasy when we're talking NFL, I hate that. That's
Stop it. No, I said I had him in fantasy, but he was putting up numbers regardless of his fantasy or whatever.
Okay.
His numbers was crazy.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was balling.
His numbers was crazy. He was averaging like 115 and a touchdown a game.
So now, and then you still got Green Bay.
That's why I want to talk about it.
And Detroit is always that wild card where you just don't know what you're going to get.
8-8 or 10-6.
So,
you don't know what they're going to be.
So now, first I'm going to go with you.
Okay.
Who's the most interesting team in that division now?
I'm going to say Green Bay, only because, I think Rodgers, the chip on the shoulder about not being able to finish last year because of the injury. I think losing Jordan Nelson is another chip on the shoulder. I think Jimmy Graham helps him immensely because now it opens up the middle to where, normally he's scrambling on the outside and hitting receivers. But I just think Green Bay, it's just something about Aaron Rodgers. If you give him a little more talent, you give him talent. The only question mark is Devontae Adams ready to be a number one receiver? I just don't know. Randall Cobb stays hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that's the most interesting team. The team that I would be more afraid of would be probably Minnesota in that division.
Now, what team would you say that, I guess, like you said, the team that you're most afraid of, like, they don't have to be the best, but this team is
scary.
It's scary.
I would say that it's the Packers because you don't know. Like Aaron Rodgers covers.
Everybody picked the Pack. Go ahead.
Aaron Rodgers covers so many deficiencies,
but they don't win. They do this every year. When the last time they been in the Super Bowl? They went that one time, right?
Let them.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They'll go 13-3, 14-2, and lose the first playoff game.
Right.
That's why I'm
do you
waiting
think
to
they're
get
scary,
here.
though?
I'm waiting on this to get.
So, as far as the regular season, there's still somebody to worry about.
Okay.
Because, look, last year, 3 teams from the NFC South went to the playoffs. So that means 1 team from all the other divisions. So really, you might just be playing for 1 spot.
True.
Who
you got?
So, I think the Green Bay Packers are going to win the NFC North. That's just because that's what happens, right? 13-3. But as expected, they're probably going to lose in the first round. As far as Minnesota, I can never believe in them, right? Like you never can. Even last year, when we was in week 15, we still was like, it's Minnesota though. You know what I mean? So you never can believe in them. I think, like he just said, this NFC North may be the NFC South last year, where there are 2 or 3 teams that go to the playoffs. Based on just that pickup the Bears just got, their defense goes into what, top 5? And now if you even got a competent Trubisky, right? Just a competent Trubisky that can just, let's just say game manager, right?
Mm-hmm.
You easily can win 8-9 games just off being a game manager. Yo, I think that's a deep division.
And then
a deep conference.
And then I had a playoff. I got to put the playoff stats. We're gonna put the playoff stats up. I mean the playoff preseason. It's preseason, but this is important. The reason why I say this is for the fact that the Bears threw the ball the most. They were. I mean, so the reason why I say that is that they're changing the culture with Nagy. With Coach Nagy being there, they're probably gonna be top 5 when it comes to attempts as far as passing attempts.
Well, this is like when bringing McVay to the Rams.
Right.
Exactly.
You have a young quarterback. He needs an offensive-minded coach.
Exactly.
If you're building around him, that's why they brought in that.
But shout out to McVay too. He from Marietta.
Right, for real. and I'll say this, and we'll go to the next. Minnesota. I believe in Minnesota because ever since what's the coach's name?
Zimmer.
Since Zimmer came to Minnesota, they've been a different team. They've gotten to the playoffs. I think right now he's got because NFL you can't build a team. It's not like college. You can't recruit. You can't build your team the way you want it.
Right.
It takes time. So I think now, look at how the team used to be. Even with Adrian, they ran the ball a lot because they had Adrian. But I don't look at they were never a running team in defense. Look at how they are now. We run the ball. We play defense. Now we have a quarterback who can make throws.
Well, they never had after Favre fell off, they never really got a quarterback, so they had to lead even more.
But I think that's what Zimmer wants because he's a defensive-minded coach.
But with that is that dome is what does it sometimes for me, right? Because like when you go outside, they play in a dome, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you go outside, you got to play in Green Bay, you got to play in Chicago, and don't get it twisted. We know it's cold as I don't know what in Minnesota, but you're not playing those games outside. You're on turf. It's a whole different game.
But I don't think that has because they've beaten Green Bay in Green Bay. They've beaten the Bears in Chicago. Them the only two.
All right, well then, go on down, Minnesota fan.
No, I ain't. Why you mad at me? Because I'm just saying.
I'm just joking, man.
No, but Minnesota is just, to me, they the scariest team to play. Green Bay, I don't believe them. We just got to beat Green Bay as far as the Bears team. But we're going to move to NFC East. I'll just say this about the Bears. That team, we talked about this before, that defense is starting to look like the San Francisco 49ers. That Nick Fangio, who's Vic Fangio, who is a defensive coordinator, who was a defensive coordinator for the 49ers back in the Patrick Willard days and the Alden Smith days, and all of them guys. So it looks like he's getting that
Monsters
again.
of the Midway.
Right, so we will see. Now, NFC East.
Going with the Giants.
You going with the Giants?
Yeah, I just they secondary
over Philly
is good. Yeah, listen, Philly.
Wow.
The first, you're not playing with Jeffries. He's going to be out 2 games. You may have the Super Bowl hangover. I don't know what Nick Foles is going to give you the first game or 2 or 3. I don't know how many games there's going to be. You can't afford to take L's like this in this division when you are the targeted team. I think the Cowboys has a lot to say, and I think the Giants has plenty to say about this division because now I have weapons and I have a secondary, and you are the target. So, I mean, I'll tell everybody, how easy is it or how comfortable are you when you're looking for someone? And then how comfortable are you when somebody is looking for you? Everybody is looking for the Eagles. So I just think in this division, I think the Giants got the upper hand, and I'm picking the Giants.
Let's do this. We're going to switch some things. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we're going to finish this up. All right? Braves, we love you. But we're going to take a quick break, all right? We love y'all, MLB.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the Real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
Hey, what's going on, sports fans? It's your boy Damian Adams from The Real Deal with Damian Adams. Now, you can catch my show on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time here on the 3-Point Conversion Station. But for right now, I'm listening to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge with my man, Mr. Controversy. Always keeping it real, always keeping it raw. I can't miss out on this on my Saturday mornings, so keep it locked to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
You're back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge with Mr. Controversy and D Intellectual.
The 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And real quick, going back to the, like I said, we want to thank everybody in the barbershop that's listening. And I want to give a special shout out to my man, Donald. His graduation is coming from DeKalb County Academy. So
shout out, Donald.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Donald Jackson. What's up?
Good job. Congratulations.
5-0. Good job, man. We happy for you, sir. So I'm proud of you, man. But going back to the football, to NFL, we're discussing NFL divisions, the NFC divisions, and we're in the NFC East. And H.O. stated that he thinks the Giants, are the team to beat. Anybody opposed? I'm not even going to just anybody opposed.
I think Philly the team to beat, but I think the Giants could be the scariest team because Eli is Eli. People can try to discredit him how they want, but he got 2 Super Bowls, and he when he has the talent around him, he does what he needs to do. They had their entire receiving core was gone last year. They haven't had a running back in 4 to 5 years easily.
Since Jacobs,
right? Or Tiki, you know what I'm saying?
They haven't had a running back since who?
Tiki Barber.
Bradshaw.
Can I get a stopper for Brandon Jacobs?
You don't like him?
Man, he was weak. Like Deion said, somebody need to hold a mirror and follow him around. Just a right side mirror. Just look at yourself, bro. Look at yourself. This is you.
Yeah.
Stop tippy-toeing.
But I feel like them having OBJ back, having Saquon Barkley, they defense, as long as they offense can protect, they offensive line can protect Eli, I think they can be a very dangerous team. However, with Philly, I feel like they showed us what they was last year. I know you spoke on the Super Bowl hangover. I think that may last maybe a game or two, and the reason I say that is because they didn't have a quarterback. So he don't have the Super Bowl hangover. You could maybe speak to Foles having the hangover, but he, now. Why can't I think of the kid's name?
Who Wentz?
Wentz. Wentz coming in. He got a chip on his shoulder. Now he got hurt. They won the Super Bowl without me. I was finna be an MVP. He was probably gonna be the MVP. Right. So now he want to come back in.
But that's if he plays, because they just came out and said they still want him to take his time. So it could be 4 or 5 games before we see Wentz.
And the thing about it now, we got full tape on Nick Foles.
Right.
But I think Nick Foles, and I'm going to let you go, G. I think Nick Foles was in a bad situation when
in St. Louis.
Because he was
who was his
Jeff
coach? Fisher. Jeff Fisher.
Thank you.
One of the worst coaches in history,
The reason why I
dog.
say this is because we saw him ball out in Philly.
And then he got traded.
And then he comes back.
And balls out again.
And I don't care what it wasn't film, but it's enough film because you know his tendency.
Right.
Because he's played in the league for a while. It's just that he was making throws, man. But when he was Tavon Austin was probably his tallest receiver,
and he 5'3".
And he 5'3".
Well, y'all silly.
So I'm just saying, like,
and he was with Jeff Fisher, man.
Yeah,
Jeff
I agree.
Fisher.
I agree.
So
But he works better with RPOs, obviously, and even in the preseason, as you've seen, they've gone 0-4. That he hadn't looked good looking in the traditional offense. You know,
Right.
so you have to scheme
for him.
Right.
You say, and that's the thing and that's great that Peterson can do that. I mean, I just think that he's one of the underrated coaches. That
I mean, even with that, let's say Wentz missed 4 games. You go 3-1, 2-2.
Maybe
You
2-2.
You still
'cause
right
You
there.
got Jeffries out too.
But still right there. I mean, we're still not talking about their defense, which is crazy.
Cox.
But then you have the former Foles. You don't have to put on Foles on because you have
got 3. You got
have
a
J.I.
2 or 3 headed
Well,
running back,
Ajay-
don't you? Ajay. Don't you? It was a 2 or 3 running backs that get out, isn't
No,
it?
when they let
Blunt go.
They let Blunt
Oh,
go.
no,
with
Darren
Detroit.
Sproles is back, but this is
Sproles
the
last
thing.
season.
Yeah, this is what I have to say about their defense. To me, the defense just has a lot of names. I know they got Michael Bennett. You know, I don't know what he has left and things of that nature, but it was proven, and I can send you some tape, some facts of how to beat this defense because they are overly aggressive in the secondary. Because we saw who did the team that they played before they played the Falcons, or the last 2 weeks of the season, but it broke down real simple. I mean, they overly aggressive on the back end. The front, yeah, they got some big names and things of that nature. And I think the defense is decent. But again, you're being targeted, and we got tape, and we already know who
So
you
kind
are.
of what you're saying is, if you got time for your
Crossing routes kills them.
Okay.
Go ahead, G.
Well, as far as like the division, I'll still go with the Eagles until further notice. I mean, the Giants go as far as Odell Beckham will take them. That's where Eli is better when Beckham is out there. But when he wasn't out there, I know the other receivers were hurt, but Eli looked terrible enough to let's end his consecutive starting streak. And then let's go right back to him a week after that.
So that was coaching.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Ben McAdoo was
So
terrible.
let's go to the division with the hometown Atlanta Falcons, and I'm not gonna start with HO first. We're gonna let biasness come in later. But no, I'm just playing. But I'll say this about the NFC South: the most interesting team to me, honestly, it's still the Falcons. I mean, the reason why I think they're the most interesting team, I think New Orleans is going to be up there. That Alvin Kamara is a beast, and I think that Carolina can be the scariest because you don't know what you're going to get.
What Cam you going to
Especially with DJ Moore. I like this young kid. But the Falcons, this is year 3 with Quinn.
2 with
Year 2 with Sarkisian. We saw what happened with Shanahan. You're more comfortable. They added some pieces, but I think the defense. If this defense gets it going, I think this is the year that defense becomes a top 5 team. I know you don't like Alford, but I'm just saying I think this team becomes a top 5 team defensively. And if this defense can carry this team with the weapons they have offensively, Atlanta might be playing somewhere late.
Somewhere they're gonna be playing
in
here.
their bed.
If they
Sleeping in their own bed.
they
baby.
that's what I'm saying. They're gonna be playing late. They're gonna be playing here.
Yep.
I want So I'm gonna go with Carolina, because as bad as the season that they say Cam had, he still took his team to the playoffs, and they didn't have anybody.
Right.
Like McCaffrey didn't do as good as expected. He did well, right? But he didn't do what was expected. So I'm sure he's going to take a step, right?
Yeah, I think he's about to blow up.
Right, he's
I
going to
think
take a
he's about
step.
to beast.
I think that Cam got another. Well, he always got a chip on the shoulder. I think we can agree on that. It's always something Cam didn't do or he could have did better, right? But they say that last year wasn't that good, and they always say he's not elite, but he's coming. He's a year removed from being the MVP of the league, so I'm still trying to understand that. But I think the Carolina team. I really think them. But then, like you said, right behind that is Atlanta. But you can never not mention Drew Brees as long as he got an arm on
So
his
wait,
body.
you think Carolina's going to be number one?
Yep.
I mean, listen. I can't.
You
I
just
can't
never know here. Like
I can't knock it. I think Carolina is the most scariest team in the division. You get North Turner coming in the OC. You get C.J. Anderson coming in as a bruising running back that allows McCaffrey to free up in space. You upgraded your receiving core with DJ Moore, and then you obviously got Futchins and
Torrey Smith.
Right.
Rid
So
of that
you've done that. The reason I fear them is because of Turner, the OC,
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the number
using a weapon like Cam. That's the scary part.
And whatchamacallit, and McCaffrey.
And McCaffrey. Yeah. So, but now with New Orleans, I mean, Ingram missing the first 4 games, I think is gonna hurt New Orleans. I don't think they can afford to have Kamari be that workload for 4 games, because if you look at his stats without Ingram in the game,
he's not that
workload. He needs that offset
balance,
it. He needs the balance. So New Orleans really doesn't scare me as much as Carolina does. I just think the Falcons has the least amount of holes for a team as far as balance. That's the only reason I would choose Atlanta. Carolina's just gonna be right up there. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Carolina and Atlanta, and those are the only 2 that goes from that division.
And it come down to that game, or that division come down to that game.
Exactly.
When one of them meet, it come down to that.
So before we go, is there any way Tampa could come in the mix? Like, I mean, we've been screaming Tampa, watch out for Tampa. We never know with Tampa.
You asking G or you asking who?
The ghost of
anybody.
Warwick Dunn and Mike Allstott return.
Right.
The ghost of Warren Sapp
Derek
and
Brooks.
Derek Brooks come back.
Yeah.
Then Rondé.
So they just
And
like,
Rondé,
yeah.
We just talk about
and Super Bowl MVP Dexter Jackson. He might help.
Right. And we just talked about Jameis Winston not even guaranteed his starting position when he come back.
So who
got? Is they backup?
So who you have winning? You have Atlanta winning.
I got Atlanta winning.
You have Atlanta winning the South?
Yeah.
I'm going with Carolina.
I think New Orleans gonna win the South, but I think Atlanta's coming out. They're gonna go first, but I think New Orleans winning the South. NFC North. Who you got?
NFC North. Green Bay.
Packers.
Right.
I'm going to Chicago.
I wonder why.
Let's go to the East. NFC East.
NFC East. Who
Giants.
you got? Who you got?
I got Giants.
Eagles.
Philly.
Yeah, I got Philly. And then the West.
Rams.
All right, we're going to take a quick break.
Who you got?
You know it's the Rams? I still think Seattle might. I think Seattle might surprise some people.
I think
He needs to be worried about.
I think they have killed their chemistry. Everything that
Yeah,
Pete Carroll
yeah.
created, they killed it.
Greetings. Barry here. The Real 1100 wants you to register to vote. Join us for our Be the Change Register to Vote campaign. Come on out Saturday, September 22nd, and enjoy music, refreshments, and a chance to meet some of your favorite Real 1100 show hosts and enter raffle giveaways. Be the change you would like to see. Register to vote with us September 22nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We can't wait to meet you. And remember, don't boo, vote.
Hey, this is Brittany Griner from the Phoenix Mercury, and you listen to the 3-Point Conversion.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. If you hear this music, you already know what it means. It means we have to let you go. Before we let you go, please stay tuned because we have a couple of shout-outs. You might be a part of it. First of all, you know I got to give a shout-out to my man upstairs. Yes. God Almighty. Yes. And, I mean, this man, I can't describe how he's blessed me, with this opportunity and look at how the 3-point conversion is taking off and going places. We're continually going and meeting people. It's crazy. And then for giving me this platform to go ahead and talk my mind, speak my mind. You ought to listen, make you all happy, mad, upset, want to get me to stop it segment.
Stop it.
And just like I said, just to do this every Saturday. This is great. Also, I want to thank my special guest, H.O.
Hey,
He ain't
man,
no guest no more,
always,
man. Thank you.
always a pleasure coming
for
through,
coming
man.
on.
Y'all keep it rocking, man. And I really appreciate the opportunity as always, coming in and just rocking with you guys, man.
I appreciate it,
that chemistry is flowing, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That college football, and we didn't get into the Braves, but they.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I have a feeling you'll be back next week. So I want to thank G, our engineer. Appreciate you, G. Before I thank my partner in crime, I got to thank our sponsors, Syndicate's Barbershop, Sucker Free Life, LLC, and Solid Express for doing what they do. We appreciate you. Then I got to thank my co-host, D Intellectual. Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Definitely. Shout out, praise to the Most High, of course. Of course, my co-host always bringing it through. Every Saturday we come through and rock it. This Saturday wasn't different. Shout out to our sponsors, Solid Express, Sucker Free, Barbershop, Sydney Cuts. You know how we do. Definitely appreciate the big homie coming through, H.O., for bringing that knowledge to the game. You on the dig?
Yes, sir.
G, the most important engineer in the game. You understand? And definitely, as always, shout out to Friends Family. Shout out to Cuz, Sean, and the young homies at Safety Net Facility in Mentor, Alabama. We know a lot of people have given up on y'all. Like we tell y'all every week, we ain't gave up on y'all, and we not.
All right. Thank everybody else. The music stopped, so I didn't. I thought it was cut off. But anyway, no, I thought it was cut off. When he stopped and he stopped with it, I'm like,
it did kind of cut.
Yeah, that was perfect. But anyway, thank family and friends. Thank children, lovely wife, and everybody. Appreciate you all for listening, man. Everybody stay tuned. Make sure you love family and eat. All right? Eat well, eat good. Enjoy college football today.
Fun, man.
So much to get into. WNBA playoffs. Shout out to the Atlanta Dream.
Last few weekends of the summer, man. Enjoy it, man.
Right.
Exactly. Is Della Dunn playing?
I don't know. It hadn't came out yet.
Yeah, come out. Okay, cool.
And then until next week, man. Same time, same show, same crazy host, same sports nonsense. When you miss me, I'm out.
Peace.
You just got done listening to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts at the 3-Point Conversion. And also make sure you check out our website, the3pointconversion.com. Be sure to follow us live and listen every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern.